Aloha! Welcome back for a segment that's not political. My name is Andrew Crusoe, and I've decided to come down today and have my debut television appearance, basically. So I have no idea where this video is going to end up. I'm sure I'm going to check it out years from now and laugh. I wanted to tell you about something I've been working on for a long time, probably close to 2 years now. And it's a book. It's actually the first part of 3. It's called 10,000 Hours in Paradise, Volume 1, Arrival, a true Hawaii adventure story. And it's coming out. It's coming out this month, November. And I just want to read a little bit for you. I'm really excited about this. And of course, this will be available on the internet. That's all I'm allowed to say, because this is a non-commercial show. That's all right. Let's see here. I'm so used to doing stuff on podcasts, and it's different to be in front of a camera, but I'm really happy to be here. I'm really grateful for this channel for providing this outlet to the public. It's something that we need more of in our democracy. So, basically, just the quick preamble before I read. I'm going to read about 2.5 pages. I originally moved here in 2013 and got swept up in this just amazing river of adventure. And came here. I didn't know anybody, but I always felt like I was supposed to come here. It was one of these weird feelings. You know, sometimes you have an intuitive push to do something, and you don't really have a logical reason for it. You just dream about it. I'm sure some of you can identify with that. And I came here, and the first night I was here, first of all, the first time I was here, I hitchhiked and went to Makalavena Beach, which many of you might be familiar with, a gorgeous beach on Kona side. My friend told me about this pristine beach, and I hike out there, and I'm out there, and I cut my foot the very first afternoon, and I had to walk back with my foot in a bag as it was bleeding, and but I got it back and cleaned it up, and everything was fine, and I didn't get sick or anything. But that night, I got invited to this volcano adventure. Friend of my friend was like, "Do you want to go on a volcano adventure?" I was like, what kind of question is that? Of course I want to go on a volcano adventure. So I'm going to read to you a couple pages from that adventure, and just how overwhelming and amazing it was to be thinking about Hawaii and thinking about the volcano and the lava for years, and then to my total shock, like really 48 hours after I landed in Kona, getting to visit this sacred place called Halima'uma'u in Volcanoes National Park, which you're probably familiar with. It's a really sacred place. So I'm gonna read you a little bit of that story on page 22. Once again, this is available on the internet. That's all I'm allowed to say. It's pretty easy to find. Okay. I'm gonna read a book on TV. When the road finally ended, it was easy to see the plume of orange and red smoke rising into the sky in the distance. We walked over rough terrain for about another half hour before Ganymede, our guide, pointed down to something beside some rocks. "Look, volcanic glass." I walked up to him and knelt down, noticing a strange lattice of glass woven over parts of the ground in patches. It reminded me of a spider web, except that it felt prickly to the touch. "Be careful," Ganymede said. "It can be sharp." I stood up and surveyed the sky. Once again, night had snuck up on me. And judging from the red glow ahead, the crater was only about 300 feet away. I snapped a picture of the haunting glow before pulling out the gas mask that May had given me and carefully securing it over my face. Everyone else did the same, and we followed Ganymede toward the edge, ever closer. This is how concerned we were. My friends are crazy. They had gas masks ready for this because they were telling me all about the SO2. This is my first hike wearing a gas mask. I noticed some short wooden pillars nearby. When I asked Ganymede about them, He said that there was once an observation post here, but the lava lake had spewed out some huge boulders, destroying it. Ganymede told us not to worry, though. Such an occurrence was extremely rare. Apprehension filled my heart. Maybe this was crazy. Maybe we should have never come this close. Still, I knew that I couldn't stop there. I couldn't come this far and not stand near the crater, the caldera. Soon I would see Hale Ma'uma'u, home to Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes, not to mention the mythic creator of the Hawaiian Islands themselves. To many living on Hawaii, Pele's existence isn't a mere legend, it's a reality. For thousands of years, Pele has been honored by the Hawaiians as a powerful being that is meant to be respected. And once we finally reached the crater, I witnessed that power firsthand. Below us, a lava lake of terribly magnificent fire seethed with power, its surface roiling in unspeakable patterns which slowly changed as cracks on its surface melted and reformed. Clearly, Pele is called Ka Wahine Ai Honua, the earth-eating woman, for a reason. The crater was so large that it was difficult to gauge its size, but later I confirmed that the crater was over 700 meters wide, the equivalent of 14 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Now, sidebar, it's crazy to think that since this event, all that lava's gone now. It's drained out, and we've had this situation that's happened in Puna with all that land being covered and losing so many homes. It's just amazing how things always change. An instant later, my skin felt the waves of heat radiating off the lava lake, despite the fact that we were many, 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 many feet above it. I'm paraphrasing. The warmth it radiated was palpable, and I found myself unable to look away, consumed by the strange sight of roiling, roaring lava. That was the last thing that hit me, the sound. At first, the roar reminded me of white noise, but there was something else, a fierceness, like a lion's roar, except that lion was much older, much more powerful, and its roar was unending. I found the sound almost as overpowering as the sight, the heat, and the smell of sulfur. I had made it. I was standing on the edge of a live volcanic crater. At last, after years of dreaming about it, I was seeing lava. An entire lake of it, no less. I took out my camera and shot a few short videos, noticing how bubbles formed and dissolved around the red-hot cracks on the surface as they shifted and ebbed over time. Never before had I experienced an earthbound phenomenon so mesmerizing, and in that moment, I wondered if the spirit of Pele might be real. We stood there for some time, marveling at the destructive beauty of one of the most active volcanoes on the planet. I looked over and realized that my companions had long since removed their gas masks and seemed fine. Apparently the winds were in our favor, and after some coaxing, I removed my mask as well. I closed my eyes for a moment, and the feeling of the distant lava was almost like the sun on a cloudless summer day. Ganymede reminded me that we'd brought food to eat, and he said we were going to do some extreme picnicking. And I was surprised to realize that I was suddenly starving. We sat down on some rocks and pulled out small containers of food. Ganymede had brought beer, and we laughed at the absurdity of where we were eating. Then Ganymede walked over to the edge of the crater and poured some beer out as an offering to Pele, thanking her for letting us stay there for the short time. And so we ate our food, beaming at each other over the incredible experience we were sharing. Someone had even brought wine. These are classy people. And in the midst of great gratitude toward May and our guide, Ganymede, we toasted to Pele on the edge of the world. I want to thank Naleo TV for letting me come on today, and I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do this in first take. And once again, this is available on the internet, 10,000 Hours in Paradise, and if you love the island as much as I do, you're going to love it. Thank you, and aloha.
From the mountains to the sea, Naleo TV.
From Hilo to Keoho, Ocean View to Kapa'au, Naleo TV. bringing you stories of the Big Island and the news and events that matter to you.
Naleo TV is the Big Island's outlet for free speech and creativity. The only TV station to bring you Big Island programming created by people like you.
Naleo TV is the only station to offer you full coverage of community meetings, local political content, and hours of entertainment.
The culture of this island makes it unique. So tune into a channel with the same uniqueness that represents our island home.
Your information, your stories, your island, your communities. You are Naleo TV.
See it,
Hear it.
And be inspired.